All right, guys, welcome to another schools update, this time for the 5th of August 2019. And what a weekend of rugby it was. We had upsets in South Africa, we had upsets in New Zealand, and not to mention the biggest schoolboy derby on planet Earth, the Pole Derby, that certainly lived up to its billing. So let's get right into it with the South African results. So Garsfontein beating Transvaal 73 points to 22. Then, as you can see, Menlo Park having a huge win over Monument, 22 points to 15. Waterkloof beating Hartius Middelburg in a tight encounter, 36-31. J.G. Janssen running away with it against Noordheuvel, 62-38. Glenwood beating Maritzburg 36-25 to be crowned champions of the Natal region. And then we had the Eastern Cape Championship, basically, which was Greyhound against Selborne. A tight win there for Greyhound, 23 points to 17. Fransby beating Outeniqua 22 points to 14. And then look at that. St Andrews absolutely thumping Bishops 42 to 22. I don't think anyone could have called that. Stellenberg having a good win over DF Milan, 80 points to 0. Porus beating Boland Landbou 28-10. Rondebosch beating Sachs 24-5. And Grey College continue their dominance with a 57-26 win. I think I'm forgetting the game here. No, I'm not. I'm giving it a headline. Paul Jim beating Paul Boys for the first time since I think it was 2014, and I think they won that encounter by 1 point as well. So an 18-17 win over the boys high team. Fantastic game, guys. I don't know if anyone got a chance to watch it. I use that DSTV now, whatever it's called, to stream it from my location, and I'm certainly happy I did that. It was a fantastic game. It was definitely played in the right spirit. I think there were times when the boys were a bit edgy, but what do you expect when you got 20,000 plus supporters packing the stadium? What a game it was. I mean, Paul Boys looked dead and buried. I think it was 18-5 with about 5 minutes left to play. And then Reece du Plessis came on the field and basically jumped over the pack and scored a try. And then a try in the corner by Xavier Farmer. And then unfortunately the conversion wasn't able to take place. It was from a very difficult angle. And the fullback Rousseau had a great game. He's a great player. And I just feel so bad for him. But there had to be a winner on the day and there had to be a loser. Now, if I have to point the difference in this game, I'd say it was probably the halfbacks. I thought that the halfback pairing for Paul Jim was fantastic on the day. The tactical kicking by Berger at fly for Paul Jim was absolutely brilliant, spot on. Bobby Alexander got some quick ball out. The Paul Boys guys were great as well, the halfback pairing, but I felt that they were let down a little bit of time by slow ball and some poor decision making. But ultimately, it was Jim's day, and what a derby it was. I think there was 7 or 8 minutes of overtime, guys. That's how tight this game was. Nobody was willing to give an inch. So congratulations to Jim for their first Pole Derby victory since 2014. And tough luck to Pole Boys. Everyone played their heart out, and this is the way a derby is meant to be played. And you saw the emotion on the boys' face after the final whistle went. I mean, they were guys literally in tears. That's how much this game means to the community over there. So this was always going to live up to its billing of who was going to be the number 2 school in South Africa, and I for one was not disappointed at all. Now our rankings have got a bit haywire because of these results. So let's get straight into it. 10th place, I got Bishops at 4.18. As you can see, they had a tough loss to St Andrews, about 20 points. Tough encounter there. Never easy going down to Grahamstown, travelling such a great distance. So they in 10th place at 4.18. Then in 9th place in 4.19, just squeezing past Bishops because of the margin of victory. St Andrews, who are new entry. You can see that they've just had 2 losses in the season and a draw against Greyhound. So great season for the boys from Grahamstown. Then in 8th place, we have Outeniqua, who stay in the same position. 4.25 points. The margins are small, guys, very small over here. They had a loss to Fransby by 8 points, but still had some great results in the year and played some tough teams. So 8th place, Outeniqua, 4.25 points. Then in 7th place, we have Grey High, who are up by 2 points thanks to their great victory over Selborne. They're on 4.27 points. Moving on to 6th place, unfortunately down by 2, Monument 4.80. Their loss from against Menlo Park obviously costing them quite dearly. Up to 5th place now, and we have Porus, who are up by 1 thanks to their win over Boland Landbou by 18 points. They are sitting on 4.86, slightly ahead of Monument. 4th place, we have Garsfontein up by 1. Nice win over Transvaal there. They're on 4.93 points. And then we have in third place Paul Boys down by 1. Such an unkind loss, but like I said earlier, someone had to lose this game. So 6.21 points, Paul Boys. And then in second place, obviously, we have Paul Jim, 6.33 points, thanks to their win over Paul Boys. I'd like to thank one of my followers for reminding me that I forgot to put in the Bull and Landbou score. And yes, I did forget to put it in last time because on the slides, but I didn't exclude it within the rankings. So they up by 6.33 points. And obviously, we know who's number 1, 6.86. That's Grey College. Nice win over Oakdale there, 57 points to 26. Then moving on to the New Zealand schools. The Auckland competitions in round 10, and St. Kitts had a great win over Auckland Grammar, 18 points to 15. Carlston beating Mags 14-3. De La Salle, nice win over Rory, 17-12. Kings absolutely thumping Dilworth, 80 points to 0. Tangaroa beating Liston, 35-7. And St. Peter's beating Sacred Heart, 12 points to 0. So in terms of the top 4, we have St. Kitts reaching the top, up by 3 after a slow start to the season. Second place, we have King's College, up by 1. Third place, Sacred Heart, who are down by 2. And in fourth place, Auckland Grammar, down by 2. Then the UC Championship, round 12, Timaru thrashing Waimea combined 62-0. Then Marlborough beating Aroki combined 62-21. Nelson, nice win against Lincoln, combined 54-12. St. Bede's beating the perennial Whipping Boys, Mid-Canterbury combined 94-0. St. Thomas having a nice win over Shirley Boys, 31-15. Christchurch Boys beating Rangiora, 38 points to 12. And St. Andrews suffering their second successive loss, this time to Christ College, 28 points to 10. Your top 4 stay the same. Nelson at 1, St. Andrews at 2, St. Bede's at 3, and Christchurch Boys at 4. Going to be a very interesting end to the season in this competition. Then a competition I forgot about, guys. I thought it was finished after round 10. So I'm just going to include round 12 results here. The top 4 haven't changed. But Rosmini beating Takapuna 35-22. Whangarei beating Orewa 27-10. Westlake beating Rangitoto 74-13. And Manawera beating Massey 36-7. I can't believe that I missed out the last couple of rounds. I apologize for that. But I'm sure many of our Kiwi followers don't want to hear me mispronounce and butcher these names too many times more often. And then we move on to the Central North Island, round 9. Wesley beating Lindisfarne 27-22. Nice win there for Wesley. Wanganui beating St. Peter's 39-19. Francis Douglas Memorial beating St. John's Hamilton 56-13. Fielding beating St. John's Hastings 62-26. And St. Paul's beating Rathkiel 55-0. Your top 4 stay the same. First, Wanganui. Second, St. Paul's. Third, Francis Douglas Memorial. And fourth, Wesley College. Then moving on to the Super 8. Palmerston North having a nice win over Napier Boys. 27-15. Tauranga beating Gisborne 36-24. Rotorua absolutely thumping New Plymouth 47-3. And I don't think anyone could have predicted this much of a margin between Hamilton Boys and Hastings, but Hamilton Boys winning their 26 points to 3. I think a lot of us anticipated that being a lot closer of a game. So your top 4, Hamilton up by 1, displacing Hastings at the top, who dropped down by 1 to second. Third and fourth stay the same with Rotorua and Palmerston North. Then the Wellington Premier round 9, Rongatai beating St. Pat's Silverstream 10 points to 5. Aotea beating Wairarapa 30-26. Scots having a nice win over St. Pat's Town 39-27. Wellington beating St. Bernard 69-21. And Kapiti beating Hutt International 29 points to 10. Your top 4, Scots stay in first, Rongatai stay in second, and then Town and Silverstream swap places to be third and fourth respectively. Moving on to Australia, and let's start off with the GPS competition. Nudgee College, nice win over there against Gregory Terrace, 38-31. Southport beating Brisbane State, 52-7. I'm told by one of the Australian followers that no doubt Southport's going to take the GPS this year, so let's see how that goes. And then Ipswich Grammar beating Toowoomba, 46-18. Brisbane Boys having a massive win against Brisbane Grammar, 49-0. Your top 4 stay the same. First place Brisbane Boys, second Ipswich Grammar, third Southport School, and fourth Nudgee College. Then moving on to the AAGPS, finally, St. Joseph's, nice tight win against Kings over there, 13 points to 10. St. Ignatius beating Shaw, 57-7. And Scots beating Newington, which is, of course, Phil Kearns' alma mater, 28 points to 24. And your top 4 over there stay the same as well. First would be St. Joseph's, second Scots, third Newington, and fourth St. Ignatius. All right, guys, thanks a lot for taking the time to watch, and obviously appreciate all your input and comments. What a weekend of rugby it was. The South African season, I believe, ends next week, and after which we'll have the international series that we'll be covering. New Zealand are going to be reaching the business end of their competition as well, with the knockout stage coming soon. And then we'll have the AAGPS and GPS probably rounding up in the next 2 to 3 weeks as well. So yeah, let me know what more you guys would like to hear. And next week as well, what I'll be doing is I'll be announcing the respective regional champions in South Africa. Obviously, my opinion. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and have a great week further. Cheers. Bye.